One of the best parts of the college football season are reading people's hot takes before the season begins. Seeing the outlandish things people say really gets you excited for the season. Every year, I know I come up with 5 to 10 different hot takes and pretty much just see at the end of the season how accurate I was. Well, today I thought it'd be a fun idea to go to college football Reddit and look at a bunch of people's hot takes and just pretty much go over them and give my 2 cents on them. Now, for my next video is actually gonna be a little more fun because I'm actually gonna be reading hot takes from you guys. So whatever hot take you have for the college football season, drop it down in the comments below, and in my next hot takes video, I'm going to be reading and pretty much giving my thoughts to your guys' college football hot takes. So if you want me to read yours, make sure it's a good one. But yeah, without further ado, let's get to these college football hot takes from Reddit. So this post comes from Harriest Walrus, and I pretty much just asked a question: what are you guys' hot takes for the college football season? And he actually included 2 that I'm going to kick things off with. Tennessee gets their first 10-win season since the Fulmer years. I think Tennessee's on the come up, but I don't think they're going to be getting 10 wins this year. Hank Bachmeier will be a Heisman finalist. That's a hot take as well. Hank Bachmeier was, I think, one of 3 or 4 true freshman quarterbacks last year in college football, and he was good for Boise State. But in order for him to, be a Heisman finalist, a lot's going to have to happen for Boise State. So I don't think he'll be a Heisman finalist, but I think he's going to have a really good year. USC smokes Bama, leaving everyone with a Pikachu face. Bama finishes the year 8-4, officially ending their reign in the SEC. Well, I believe the last time those 2 teams played, I think Bama beat SC 52-6, so maybe USC can return the favor and beat them by 46 points. Alabama going 8-4, I think that's a hot take. I don't think necessarily Bama might go undefeated this year, but 8-4, I mean, stranger things have happened. Mack Brown dismembers Dabo at midfield after defeating Clemson in the college football playoff and declares himself the king of the Carolinas. Mack Brown's building something nice in North Carolina, but if they're going to dethrone Clemson, especially in the college football playoff, I mean, when the 2 teams meet in the ACC title game, I mean, I guess unless both teams are undefeated going into that, maybe both of them will get in the college football playoff, but I don't think Mack Brown's going to be the king of the Carolinas quite yet. However, it's creative, I'll give it that, I like that. Texas is finally back, folks, and goes to the playoffs at 12-1. I think that can happen. Texas A&M wakes the sleeping giant they know they are, wins the SEC, and makes the playoffs at 12-1. Yeah, that's not happening. Texas and Texas A&M are scheduled to play each other in the playoff, but a new outbreak of COVID-19 finishes the season abruptly, and everyone is blue-balled. I think that'd be a great national championship between Texas and Texas A&M, get that rivalry back. But Texas, I think they can make it to the playoff. I think they can. Texas A&M, again, stranger things have happened, but I really don't think there's a chance the Aggies can make it. Wazoo actually keeps the Apple Cup within a touchdown. Hey, maybe. I don't have all the Apple Cup scores loaded up, but I know that Washington has just embarrassed Washington State almost every year for the last 10-15 years. So hey, if Washington State can keep it within 7, I guess that's a victory in itself. Indiana quite literally plays basketball on grass and goes 15-0 and wins the championship over Bourbon Barrel rivals Kentucky. I mean, this is coming for a lot right here. We got Indiana going 15-0. I mean, that in itself is as hot of a take I think you can get. Then they play Kentucky in the college football playoff. So not only is Indiana going 15-0, they have Kentucky making it to the national championship game. So what do we got here? Red Boy 6. Yeah, that is a great hot take, Red Boy 6. Ole Miss wins the SEC championship, and Lane Kiffin takes off his pants to reveal his lap hog and gets awarded the Heisman. I think Lane Kiffin taking off his pants and revealing his, and I quote, lap hog while getting awarded the Heisman, I think that has a better chance of happening than Ole Miss winning the SEC. Willie Taggart will win 9 games at Florida Atlantic, and the media will claim Florida State didn't give him a fair chance. If Willie Taggart can't win 9 games at Florida Atlantic, he needs to be disassociated from head coaching. I don't think this guy is a good head coach. We saw what he did to Oregon. We saw what he did to Florida State. Lane Kiffin built a really good program at Florida Atlantic, so if Taggart's, again, unable to win 9 games, I think this guy needs to go, because with what he was given, I don't know. I just personally don't like Willie Taggart. I don't think he's a good coach. So, I mean, even if Florida Atlantic wins 10 or 11 games, I don't think that he should be praised at all because, again, Lane Kiffin built a really good program there, and in that conference, I mean, I would expect him to win at least 10 games. So, Willie Taggart, it's going to be interesting to see how he does with the Owls this year. If we win 10 games, I will personally drive to Knoxville and suck Pruitt's at midfield in Neyland. Well, the best part about the internet is now that this is going to be on this video forever, and if Tennessee wins 10 games, Mama Man Ray, well, buddy, looks like you have a appointment. Indiana beats Penn State in Bloomington. Ow, I burned my hands typing this. I mean, we're just getting a lot of Indiana hot takes today, aren't we? I think Indiana has a chance to beat Penn State this year. All right, so we got 4 hot takes here. Virginia Tech is 11-1, entering the ACC title game against Clemson, and is a serious playoff contender. I don't think Virginia Tech's going 11-1. Spencer Rattler is the first Oklahoma quarterback in a while to not get invited to the Heisman ceremony. Don't confuse this with me saying he won't be great and that offense won't still put up gaudy numbers. I just think it'll be a more balanced approach with the run game, which will detract a bit from Rattler's numbers at quarterback. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think Spencer Rattler, he could win the Heisman, he could finish top 5, but I also wouldn't be shocked if he's not in the top 10. So overall, I think that's a fairly good one. BYU has a 10-win season. I mean, I don't have BYU's schedule loaded up right now, so I don't know how easy of a schedule they have. I mean, maybe they go 9-3 and then win their bowl game. I mean, that's doable. We get exactly 1 team of new blood in the college football playoff this year. In order of decreasing likelihood, one of Wisconsin, Virginia Tech, or Florida. I'll give one of my hot takes. I mean, in a few weeks, I'm going to have a video with a bunch of my hot takes, but a little spoiler for you guys, I actually think that Florida is actually going to make the college football playoff this year. Again, that's my hot take, so there you have that. Hot take, Michigan will ride strong quarterback play to a 10-1 record with a loss to either Minnesota on the road or a good Wisconsin team. They'll enter the Ohio State game in the top 5 with a playoff berth and a conference title on the line. That's believable. I think Michigan, I think they have the chance to go 10-1. I think they have the chance to go undefeated if all goes right, but it's all going to come down to this Ohio State game. If they can beat Ohio State, they'll be in the Big Ten title game, and they have a chance to make the playoff. Cold take, they will lose 70-28, and that sounds about right. Cal wins the Pac-12 North. No, but Cal is very respectable. They've had an improvement over the last few years, and I definitely think Cal can win 8 or 9 games again this year around that mark. Georgia loses to Alabama in the regular season, but wins the SEC championship. The Heisman winner won't be Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. I mean, overall, I think those are 3 solid hot takes, and all 3 of those actually could happen. I think Cal winning the North might be the least likely to happen, but again, who knows? Michigan fails to beat Ohio State again, and Harbaugh's on the hot seat. Well, I mean, if Michigan doesn't beat Ohio State this year, I think Michigan needs to move on from Harbaugh. Unless that's their lone loss of the season and they still finish, like 12-1, then maybe. But if he still can't get the job done against Ohio State, they need to move on and get someone else. Alabama fails to make the playoff. Auburn shocks the world and makes it. Wake Forest goes undefeated because Wake is great. I don't know how necessarily that's a hot take. I mean, do people expect Wake Forest not to go undefeated this year? I mean, I think the Demon Deeks are. Penn State unseats Ohio State for the Big Ten and defeats Georgia for the Natty. I am high on Penn State this year. I think they have a chance to win the Big Ten, and that'd be something if they beat Georgia in the national championship. That's a real hot take, predicting the national championship matchup right there. Michigan goes 8-4 with losses to Penn State, Ohio State, Wisconsin, and a random Big Ten teamer, Washington. Yeah, again, Michigan, they have a chance to go undefeated. They have a chance to go 8-4 because they just play so many good teams this year. Oregon goes 12-1 to give the Pac-12 its first playoff berth in years. I'm really high on Oregon. I just think it all comes down to their quarterback play this year. If they get a good quarterback play I know because they haven't announced who's going to be the starter yet, so depending on who the starter is, if they're good, Oregon's going to be good. Georgia wins the SEC after defeating Auburn and Atlanta. Oklahoma State wins the Big 12, but loses out on a playoff with losses to Oklahoma and Baylor. So, I mean, I think Oklahoma State, I think they have a chance to make the playoff. Will they make it with 2 losses by winning the Big 12? That's a good question, and luckily I don't have to make that decision. Larry Scott rescues Chuck E. Cheese from bankruptcy and turns it into a sports book. Yet unfortunately, I think Chuck E. Cheese is officially filed for bankruptcy and they're no more, which is really unfortunate because they've had this deal that my girlfriend and I have absolutely loved, where essentially you get 30 minutes of unlimited gameplay for like $10. So guys, if you have a girl and there's a Chuck E. Cheese that's still open by you, take her to Chuck E. Cheese and for 30 minutes play unlimited games for only $10. it's a great deal. But yeah, if Larry Scott wants to turn that vacant Chuck E. Cheese down the street into a sports book, I will be very happy with that. So Larry Scott, if you're watching this video, which I know you are because you're subscribed to my channel, please, the Chuck E. Cheese in Monrovia, California, turn that into a sports book. Nebraska goes 0-12 and shuts down the program for good. Wouldn't that be something? Iowa State upsets Oklahoma in Ames and plays Texas in the Big 12 title game. Iowa State, they have a chance to be sneaky good this year. Iowa misses a bowl, and Kirk's seat starts to get very warm. I think with everything that's been going on with Iowa this offseason, I think it's already starting to get warm. Oregon makes the playoff and plays a rematch with Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. Now, that would be a game I would definitely go to, assuming fans are allowed in the stands. Washington finishes 6-6 and 4th in the Pac-12 North. I mean, Washington, they have a brand new coach. I mean, who knows how that team's going to fare. Michigan is 11-0, entering Ohio State, who's 9-2, and Michigan still loses. Notre Dame goes 11-1, enters the playoff to lose a rematch to Clemson again by 28+. Iowa State wins the Big 12. The college football playoff is Clemson, Alabama, Florida, and an undefeated Memphis. Hey, now that's a good hot take. We got a group of 5 cracking the playoff, and it's Memphis. I mean, Memphis, they have a chance to go undefeated this year. They have a really good team. I think they might be probably the best group of 5 team out there. There's going to have to be some 2007 chaos in order for Memphis to make the college football playoff. But if we can have a 2020 season be anything like a 2007 season, I am more than on board with that. Purdue will score 35 points a game and still go 6-6. Maybe they can go 7-5. How about we get the Boilermakers going 7-5? I mean, at least they have Rondell Moore. Sam Howell leads the ACC in all major passing statistics, leads North Carolina to an 11-1 regular season, and finishes second in the Heisman race after a triple overtime game against Clemson in the ACC title game. I like that. I think Sam Howell is going to be a Heisman finalist this year. I think North Carolina is going to win at least 9 games, maybe 10 games. They'll probably be in the ACC title game. And if it's a triple overtime game against Clemson, who is this? Probably did not happen. You deserve all the praise because that is quite the prediction, but I think that's something that has a slim chance of happening. The ACC will have more teams in the final top 25 than the Big Ten. I think the Pac-12 is going to have more teams in the final AP poll than the ACC. I mean, Clemson, they'll be there. North Carolina, they'll likely be there. Maybe Miami. I mean, at most they'll have 3 that will get in that final top 25. But yeah, those are some of the hot takes I found on Reddit, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As I mentioned, my next hot takes video will be me reading the comments to these videos, so if you have any hot takes for the college football season, drop those down below. Give me the best hot takes you have. I want these things to be scorching hot. I want some scorching hot takes. That way I can read them and share with all my fans. Comment as many as you want because, again, I want a lot to choose from, so whatever hot takes you have, let me hear them. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the video out and really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video moving forward. And plus, that way you'll be notified when the next Hot Takes video is, and you can find out whether or not your comment made it into the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.